Procrastination is a dangerous thing. It can involve, and it mainly involves, us being too tired to do something, so we put that off for tomorrow. Or maybe we're too lazy to do something, so we put that off for tomorrow. But I want to talk to you about something that has been on my mind and my heart, and something I've been going through, which the Lord has told me to speak to you, particularly you, about. That is procrastination of the things that He told us to do. Yes, He strengthens us and we can do what He has called us to do. So being too tired is no excuse. But what I want to talk about is waiting upon another person. Suppose the Lord tells you to do this or something. Let's say that in my case, I'll give you an example. The Lord told me to buy an upright base. And then He told me to ask a certain person for the money for it. And the person said yes. And the person said, I'll give you the money when certain deals happen and all that. That was secondary, and I believe that was in the flesh. That's not what the Lord had intended. So immediately after that, the Lord said, don't wait for Him, buy this base yourself. So I did not procrastinate. I bought the base myself. If He gives the money, well and good. If He doesn't, well and good. But the purpose of the Lord happens. We were supposed to practice yesterday, but I put it off for a good reason, because Rebbe was doing the translation work. I'm not saying that was bad at all. But if I depended on that translation work to be complete, there would be no practice. And when I sat for practice, right when I sat, the Lord made some more changes in the plan of God. And right now, as I'm speaking, Samuel has gone up to make sure he gets the right coach and everything like that. So don't procrastinate. Understand what the will of the Lord is and renew your mind daily so that you know what is happening. Okay, today I told Rebbe, for example, and she's holding the camera and she doesn't mind me saying that to you, Rebbe. She's shaking her head. Say yes or no?
No question.
Yes. So what I was trying to tell you is that had I waited on Rebbe to do the translation, which is a good work, I'm not saying that. Had I waited on that, the practice would not have happened today. It did not happen yesterday because I waited on that, and I didn't want that repeated today. Because all this, the Lord puts into our heart, and then He's given us our mind and intellect and wisdom to execute that. So that's what I'm telling you. Don't procrastinate. Don't let other people be a hindrance, even if they mean well, to what God has told you to do. And in that, I'm telling you, if it's from the Lord, Romans 8:28, and this is why I want to talk to you about this right now. It says, all things work out to the good of those who love Christ Jesus, who are called according to His purpose. You're clear, yes, on this? So when you want, okay, put your foot down, for example, say, okay, now we will practice at 1:30 or 2:30 or whatever. And you put your foot down, you will see the flow of the Lord moving towards that and everything gravitating towards that. And if you allow it to just to go on, maybe you'll go on like that. But God has told me that I must practice and make this perfect. And what happened when I sat down today to practice? God gave me new ideas, which I didn't think of before. I told Rebbe, for example, we'll have practice today at so and so time. I mean, it was there in my head for the last 2 days or 3 days, but I didn't conceptualize it and I didn't articulate it and I didn't say it out loud. But this is what I'm saying. Don't procrastinate. Like, there are several times when the Lord has given me a word, which I said, I'm lying down, I'll say, I'm too tired to write this down. So later when I get up and I sit down to write that word, I do not remember what that is. So what I do right now is wherever God gives me idea, whatever, I take note of it. So that at the time when I sit down with, I know what the Lord has said. He understands that. So there are times when the Lord has told me to do this right now. And I've gotten up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock and I've done that. You understand? So what I want, in short, to tell you is this idea not to procrastinate, not to put away things. Nehemiah said, I'm doing a great thing, should I come down? If you understand, that is his enemy is trying to detract him from the work the Lord would have had him do, which is to build a temple. How did the Lord tell him? Put that burden in his heart. Do you want to send more than audible word from the Lord? You have to go by the burden the Lord has given you in your heart. And if you are doubtful, speak to me about it. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.